First person I call is my dad. My dad said call 911 to have you on GPS.
Yeah.
And he got his point there.
Whoa, what a night for this Metro man. He's rescued after he crashes his car and is left stranded in the North Canadian River for hours on the east side of the Metro. I'm Robin Marsh. We hear more from him, how it all happened. It's coming up.
I'm Lacey Lowry. A car catches on fire. Look at this on I-40 near downtown Oklahoma City. Incredible flames. What fire crews say the driver was coming back from when the vehicle burst into those flames.
I'm Colby Thielen. The cold front has finally arrived. How long will it stay, though? Our meteorologist Lacey Swope shows us how long it'll feel like this as those temperatures continue to drop.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Trying to keep it in the now. Contemporary.
It's the new age temperatures.
Glad you're with us. We're going to continue to feel it throughout the morning as those temperatures continue to fall. It's great. We've been waiting on this a while.
Oh, they're dropping. You definitely will notice as you head out the door. And Lacey, we're eyeing that big football game on Saturday in Dallas.
Red River Rivalry is this Saturday, and you got the fall temperatures just in time, Lace.
Just in time, but this air mass will modify, meaning that it'll be out of here by the time we get to the weekend, and we're back to the 80s and the 90s. We won't focus on that right now. Let's talk about the cold front. There's the north wind blowing around Old Glory and Chickasha, low cloud deck and a little blowing dust. It's kind of got a brown haze going on right now with that north breeze across the state. Let me show you the temperature right now. It is 62 degrees on our Lucky Star Skycam network. It is definitely 5 to 10 degrees cooler than this time yesterday across much of the state. This is a lapse of radar of Next Gen Live from yesterday. That cold front started, of course, way up in Canada, but made its way through Okarche around 8 and then made its way through Oklahoma City yesterday evening. An outflow boundary undercut it, and it kicked up a lot of dust. If you were watching radar, you might have seen that on your News 9 app. It looks like it was raining. That's not rain. That's our radar hitting other things that are not rain. We call it bioscatter, and it's coming back to the radar and painting it, and that's the view this morning. A little hazy. It's still around. Cold front has made its way down to the southeast. We've still got rain going on in Kansas. Might have a couple showers develop to the north. Little rain back in the Texas Panhandle, trying to skirt in near Cheyenne, back to Berlin and Sayre, but I don't think much of that's going to reach the ground. We have higher rain chances back into the Panhandle. There are the current temperatures, and yes, they are still dropping. May drop a few more degrees before we get to daybreak. What do your afternoon highs look like? How to dress the kids for the bus stop? That's all coming up.
Oklahoma City firefighters rescue a driver. He was stranded on the east side of the Metro for hours right by the North Canadian River. He crashed into the river. It was about 2 a.m. right near Northeast 122nd and Westminster. This is out in the Jones area. Our cameras were there as the victim actually walks out with firefighters, and then we talked with the guy. Here's what he told us.
I mean, I walked about an hour or 30 minutes. I mean, I was going through bush. I was going through, bro. I was freaking out. Like, panting. I have anxiety really bad.
I'm glad he's okay, because he was going through it, bro. I'm telling you. He tells us he was actually out there for just over 3 hours. He was just trying to get home. He called his dad. His dad said, call 911. They'll be able to come out, and they did rescue him. So everything is all good out there near Jones this morning. Woo, look what happened on the south side of the Metro, right off I-40. This car catches fire. This is about 11 o'clock last night. Really, right at I-40 near Shields. Fire crews tell News 9 the car was involved in a crash earlier in the night, and that the driver was actually trying to drive the car home when it caught fire. We're told that driver managed to escape uninjured.
A dog is killed in an overnight vacant house fire in Oklahoma City. This happened at around 11 p.m. near Southwest 59th and Penn. Firefighters tell News 9 the fire was mostly in the living room. The home did not have any utilities that were on. They weren't even active, so they're trying to figure out the cause of the fire and who was there. A Metro man who was shot multiple times at a Northeast Oklahoma City gas station dies from his injuries. Officers say the victim is 53-year-old Glenn Denson. He died at the hospital. That shooting happened at around 11 p.m. on Saturday near Northeast 23rd and I-35. Right now, investigators have no suspects in custody. If you know anything about that deadly shooting, you're asked to call the homicide tip line at 405-297-1200.
6:05 your time right now. Meteorologist Megan Gold watching the roads for us this morning. How's traffic shaping up, Megan?
It's good. No problems so far. Hopefully we will keep it that way. As Lacey mentioned, we're watching for a little bit of patchy fog to develop, but because our winds are up, I think we're going to be okay visibility wise out on the roads. But we do have that gusty north wind, so both hands on the wheel here on your Tuesday morning. Broadway extension down to 235. It looks good. Morning drive picking up there. I-35 looking off to the north on the south side, and then out on the east side, I-40 and Air Depot. Those of you that commute over to Tinker, I-40 looks great. No slowdowns there, and really all across the metro right now, you're good to go. No accidents and nothing to slow you down here on your Tuesday. Your drive times in Oklahoma City again are good to go. Over to you guys.
Megan, thanks so much. Well, this story is sparking a lot of conversation now because a Canadian county mother actually has her 17-year-old son taken from her over accusations of medical negligence. Under DHS care, the teen was hospitalized Friday and forced to resume cancer treatments.
Certainly raising a lot of questions. Now lawmakers are calling for the child who has leukemia to be returned home. News 9's Sylvia Corkill reports.
Lawmakers tell me after extended family members disapproved of the child's current medical plan, they notified DHS, sparking an investigation. This weekend, lawmakers gathered outside OU Children's fighting for a 17-year-old boy removed from the care of his mother, Dana Mooney.
I just met with a mom who's being held prisoner in this hospital with her 17-year-old autistic son.
This is a loving family a child has a number of healthcare issues that the family has been diligently addressing and overcoming.
From the moment he was born, state lawmakers say his mother has been his biggest advocate.
This kid is highly functioning, able to mow the lawn, and it's not because he was neglected, it's because his mother went and did all the research, partnered with all the healthcare professionals to make sure her baby had a chance at a real life and got it. And now all of that's being sabotaged and undermined because doctors think they know better than the parents, think they have the right to overrule parents. And DHS,
it's absolutely shocking that this could happen here in Oklahoma.
Under the care of a naturopathic doctor, healthy and happy, lawmakers say the teen's treatment was halted by the state. Saturday, the teen underwent chemotherapy and transfusions. Lawmakers are now rallying around the teen and his family following cries of government overreach. Senator Shane Jett says DHS stepped in order to profit off the child's care.
And part of that problem, Sylvia, is they get paid for every child that they bring into custody, and the longer they can prolong that, the longer and more days they get paid.
An emergency custody hearing was held Monday morning, lasting several hours. A gag order is in place, preventing anyone from disclosing what was discussed. However, a family representative tells me the child is not in his mother's care. Sylvia Corkill, Oklahoma's Own, News 9.
And we'll certainly be following the latest there. DHS, meanwhile, says in a statement that when it comes to cases like this, it does not have the authority to act independently, but it's part of a larger child protection system.
At the Capitol, Oklahoma lawmakers are looking into the best way to fund the state's prison system. One study looks at every cost from pre-trial to post-conviction. Legal experts say long jail stays and court delays drive up expenses, while reforms like faster hearings and sending text reminders to suspects about court dates could possibly save money. Lawmakers will review the findings before recommending changes.
By taking simple steps to prevent many missed court dates, Oklahoma's courts and justice systems can save significant money and staff time.
Lawmakers will continue reviewing what they've learned from the study and say that could turn into legislation in the future.
As you're waking up this morning, it's going to feel so good when you step out the door. Temperatures are dropping.
That cold front is here. It arrived right on time.
Got the full moon too, but can you see it? That's the question. Lacey's in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Lacey?
It really depends on where you are. Good morning,
okay.
guys. We've got cloud cover here in Oklahoma City, so you can no longer see the moon. But it was amazing earlier this morning and last night, that's for sure. This is our Lucky Star Sky Cam network. We have a north breeze right now, and that is really pulling in those cooler temps. We'll fall down into the 50s, the low 70s this afternoon. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, highs only in the low 70s. That's so much farther below average than where we've been. We'll talk about how long this fall feel hangs around.
Governor Kevin Stitt declares an environmental emergency in Caddo County over a saltwater spill that's killed at least 30 head of cattle so far. In just a few moments, how the Oklahoma Corporation Commission is responding to the contaminated water.
6:13 your time right now. Time for that bus stop forecast. And a question a lot of parents probably asking today, how am I going to dress my kids?
Right.
Maybe first day of pants for the school year. Maybe, if it's going to be that
kids
cold.
just wear what they want to.
I hope they've been wearing some type of pants.
Well, I mean,
Finland thing?
close to shorts.
Frowned upon.
Seems like kids wear
I'm sure
hoodies every day, you know?
My kids always wear shorts. I don't even think they have any actual long pants.
I get it. My brother's that way.
Yeah.
My husband's that way. It's a thing.
just is
really
what it is.
And they'll be fine today. It's going to be warmer this afternoon.
Yeah.
Much cooler than where we've been. That's for sure. It's
You'll
not really
notice it,
cold
right?
yet. You're definitely going to notice it. You'll notice the fall feel. It is here. I had one of our producers this morning, Sydney, earlier. She was like, I kind of thought the cold front was yesterday. I dressed my son in sweatpants. It's like, girl, I love you.
Oh, wait.
I'm laughing.
Just a little early.
After school, it
She's a
turns
little
out.
early.
Well, the cold front hit in parts of the state yesterday.
We were so excited about it.
Right.
All we focused on was Monday.
Exactly.
At the time on Monday.
Now it's here. So now the temperatures are 50s, low 60s. Highs will be in the low 70s later today. If you're getting your kiddos up, get the babies ready, take them out in the 50s with a sweater on. That's going to be the best bet. And yeah, it's a little bit cool. It's definitely not cold though. This afternoon, amazing. 60s, low 70s, partly cloudy skies. Maybe a few hours here and there where we're completely socked in with the cloud cover. Then it will break on apart, but we do look dry on this Tuesday. As that cold front made its way in, check out what it looks like on NextGen. I just love this so much. The resolution of that, and you can track it mile by mile. All the reds and the oranges had some folks confused, like, hey, hold on a second, it's not raining, not a drop of rain out of this. That was dust and debris being kicked up by the radar. Do you see the other green line coming in from the east to the west? That's an outflow boundary from a shower that popped up to the east. I love it. It's awesome. What that looked like for you if you were outside as the cold front hit, here's a time lapse from downtown Oklahoma City. Skies were clear. You can see some of those dots. That's planes taking off and flying overhead. Then here comes the clouds from the north, pressing down to the south. And then eventually watch the winds kick up the dust off along the horizon. And then we start to see the saturation in the mid-levels, and that cloud deck starts to get lower and lower coming on down the Devon Tower. Here comes the clouds. And again, a little bit of the wind blowing around leaves and dust and maybe even some butterflies. And that's what you could see on radar. We're still left with a lower cloud deck this morning. It's a little bit hazy, that's for sure. Still a little dusty on our Lucky Star Skycam network. We're at 62 degrees, so temperatures are cooler than this time yesterday. And that north wind, it's about 10 to 20. It's not extreme, but make sure you're watching out for any flying debris this morning. That's possible. And hold on to that steering wheel. Megan will have your full traffic update coming up. There's the front. We've had some rain overnight in Kansas and a little light rain back to the west. Don't get too excited, northern Oklahoma. The bulk of this is going to stay in Kansas. We'll have higher rain chances in our panhandle and for a while this morning in our western counties, but you'll notice it's very spotty. Chances are pretty low. More of a dry day is the forecast. Check out the temps. We're down to 55 in Sealing, Watonga 56, 58 in Hinton, Okemah 64, Tecumseh 65, and still dropping some. There's the boundary. It's going to press a little farther to the south, and it kind of washes out later today. So folks in the far southeast, very little impacts from the system. There are your live wind gusts. They're 10 to 20. That updates every 5 minutes. We just had gusts to 23 up near Blackwell, a little more gusty. And your hour-by-hour forecast, just amazing over the next several hours into the afternoon. You'll stay in the 60s in northern Oklahoma versus the 70s and 80s down to the south. Low humidity. Tonight, a mix of clouds around once again. Temperatures fall into the mid-50s, the low 60s. We'll see how cool we get. If your skies completely clear out, you may drop a couple of more degrees in your hometown. Highs for tomorrow, lower mid-70s. We'll still have partly cloudy skies and a northeast breeze, but notice that south wind picking back up in the panhandle. And tomorrow is really our last day with the north wind. South breeze returns and we start to warm it back up. So that amazing fall feel kind of erodes away. Mornings are still going to be really nice, but afternoons 80s and 90s, and we're watching for rain because we need it across Oklahoma. We don't want drought to become a factor, but right now it looks dry over the next 7 days with a very slight chance of rain on Monday. Now by Tuesday, we'll up that rain chance. This is going to be Pacific moisture feeding in with that cold front coming in as well. it's weak. Our next strong cold front bringing back the fall feel after today. It really doesn't start to move in until the end of next week, taking you through about the 17th, 18th, 19th of October. That's the next blast of cooler air and higher rain opportunities. So when we look at future rainfall total, if you're trying to make your plans, get your food plots in the ground, there's a lot of harvesting going on. It looks dry off and on through the weekend until early next week. Early next week, those chances start to bump back up, and I think it looks more active beyond that. We're going to have to switch gears a little bit. All right, as far as Saturday goes, big game up in Stillwater, Boone Pickens Stadium. OSU taking on Houston. Temps will be in the mid-upper 80s. It'll be a little hot. It looks dry, and definitely it looks dry and sunny at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Kickoff at 2:30 for the OU-Texas game. Temperatures will be in the low 90s, a hot one once again this year. So mid-upper 80s over the next several days after the cooler air filters out, and another cold front moves in early next week. Guys, for now, soak up these temps. Back to you.
Your time now, 6:18, some of your top national stories, and you have to see this video right here. A medical helicopter, watch this, crashes on a Sacramento freeway. There it went down, critically injuring 3 crew members. They survived, but with critical injuries. This all happened late last night. Cell phone video shows the helicopter actually going down. We know some first responders lifted that helicopter up off of one victim. The cause of the crash is under investigation.
Former NFL quarterback and current commentator Mark Sanchez faces a felony charge after a violent fight in Indianapolis over the weekend. Sanchez is now charged with felony battery resulting in serious bodily injury. This is after investigators say he attacked a 69-year-old truck driver all over a parking space. Authorities say that driver then stabbed Sanchez. He could end up facing up to 6 years in prison.
And growing concerns over the government shutdown and the impact on the aviation industry in our nation's capital. Another failed vote last night. And the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, says there's actually been an uptick in sick call-outs from air traffic controllers across the country who are working without pay during the shutdown. This has actually caused flight delays in multiple airports around the country. We're watching the roads this morning. Megan Gold at the helm, seeing how we're doing traffic-wise. Megan, good morning.
Good morning. The big talk here on our Tuesday is, of course, the cold front and that north breeze. It will make it kind of a white-knuckle ride for you out the door with a few gusts to 20 and 25. So both hands on the wheel. The cold front, of course, gives us a great afternoon. I don't have any accidents to report to you here on your Tuesday. We are good all across the map. So as always, I'll show you several views, show you what's going on as you hit the roads. This is Broadway Extension. Notice the little hazy view here. Keeping an eye on any fog that may develop, but right now because of our winds, we're doing just fine. Out on the west side, I-44 at North 10th, looking off to the north. And then for those of you coming in from the west, just got a message from a viewer in Yukon. If you're coming in from the west side, you are good to go. Right now, your drive times from all directions are good to go as well. We're going to have more news, more weather, and more traffic coming up right after this quick break.
Welcome back. More quarterback questions for Oklahoma State. OSU's interim head coach Doug Meacham says quarterback Zane Flores is likely out this Saturday. So that would mean the third string. In this season of change, Meacham is, though, taking a philosophical approach.
As 18, 19, and 20-year-olds, there are people outside of these walls that give them a lot of advice. And sometimes those people don't really necessarily know what's good and bad. And how much of that you can control? This much.
Yeah, it's a good lesson for life for these young men. The Cowboys play the Houston Cougars this Saturday in Boone Pickens Stadium. Kickoff 11 a.m.
Will quarterback John Mateer play in the OU-Texas game this weekend? It's a big story because head coach Brent Venables simply said, "I don't know," when asked about it. That answer sent Sooner Nation into a tizzy. Could he actually play? John Mateer is recovering from surgery on his throwing hand. He wasn't supposed to be back for this game. We'll see. One tight end says the Sooners will be fine, whether it's Mateer or Michael Hawkins Jr.
We have the utmost confidence in both those guys, whoever runs out there. And, like I said, we're just going to revert back to our standards as an offense. We're going to do what we do and go out there and don't let Oklahoma beat Oklahoma. And we can have success no matter who runs out there. So we're behind both those guys, and we believe in both those guys.
Red River Rivalry is Saturday in Dallas, 2:30 p.m., and we'll see who gets the start.
I love how...
So you're telling me there's a
Exactly.
chance, right? Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, and everybody's like, that means yes.
They went crazy over it.
We were just talking. So Texas started the season #1, and they're not even in the top.
I think they're not ranked. I
They're
think
not ranked.
The fastest team to go from #1 overall to unranked in a season.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Sooners.
Not the title you want.
Oh, man.
Lacey's talking smack. What'd you add?
I just said, are we surprised? The way it should go, if you ask me. Guys, check this out. We are 6 full days now into hunting season, into archery season, and we have so many kiddos getting out and harvesting their first deer ever, including little Noah. He went out with his grandpa. He's 9 years old and got this 9-point buck.
Way to go, Noah!
Congrats to you. That's amazing. Now, I'm already getting questions about the rut radar, which we do every fall. It's not showing up yet. We're not there. We got some scraping, some rubbing going on. But if you are going to be out and about, just anything outdoors today, I got your wind timeline. North wind 10 to 20, some gusts to 25 this morning. By this afternoon, north winds are still around, but they are lighter. They're 5 to 15. Heading into tomorrow, gusty north wind in the morning. It'll be a northeast breeze, and that backs off and kind of becomes a little variable into the afternoon and evening. Much cooler today. Temperatures only in the low 70s. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
All right, are you headed to Dallas for the Red River Rivalry coming up? What you should plan for if you're driving on I-35. All the details ahead here on News 9. Glad you're waking up with us this morning.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 this morning.
Good morning, 6:30 on your Tuesday morning. Taking a live look down in Chickasha. Old Glory blowing in the wind as the cold front has arrived. It's a nice, cool start to your Tuesday. How long will it last? We're going to talk with Lacey all about it. We're glad you're waking up with us this morning, and boy, does it feel so different. It's just a little pep in your step as you're walking out the door this morning.
Feeling. We were just talking again about the OU-Texas game, and the odds are what the favorite? Texas is favored?
2.5-point favorite.
Stop it now.
Who says that?
Okay, bettors. I don't know, people that are placing their money on. Here's what I would say: the over/under is it's like 115 or something, and I think these are two good defenses.
What does that mean?
I'm not giving any advice.
Okay.
I'm just saying, do what you want.
That's interesting.
But I would think the under would be my guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't bet against OU.
Yeah, there you go.
If history
never, right, Lacey?
Absolutely never, especially in this game. Okay?
Yeah.
You know one thing, they're both going to bring it, as they always do.
Yes,
it's going to be an excellent game, that's for sure. And by the time we get to your weekend, we will be talking some much warmer temperatures. This front will no longer be impacting the southern plains. But man, it is this morning. We've got 20s, 30s, 40s. We have some 40s in the panhandle. It's not that cool in Oklahoma City, but we are at 61. We've got thick cloud cover overhead, a little blowing dust, a little haze out there. 62 is where we're sitting right now at Will Rogers. There's the front, sweeping to the south. It's not sleeping yet. It is going to make its way down to about Broken Bow and fizzle out, though. We've got a little rain going on up near Wichita, some thunderstorms, and still a few spotty showers. They're going to roll through the panhandle and maybe northwest Oklahoma. All this that you're seeing up in Kansas, the storms are staying there, and there's a sprinkle or two near Rolls, Cheyenne, back down to Sayre along I-40. But as that makes its way off towards the east, there's drier air in place, and that will just continue to fizzle and erode away. So how are the temperatures? This is what will greet you. 56 Watonga, 57 in Enid, now Jones, 59, 60 in Midwest City, still 66 in Tecumseh, a little warmer to the southeast, definitely cooler in the northwest. And as that spills to the south, it's being driven by these winds at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. So your hour-by-hour forecast, a high today of 72. It's going to feel amazing, but how long does that stick around? That's coming up.
Headlines right now, 6:33. A Metro substitute teacher charged with more than a dozen counts of lewd acts with a child will stand trial. Randy McElroy, who worked in the Western Heights School District through a third-party service, has been charged after an investigation into misconduct involving elementary school students. A judge yesterday dismissed 3 charges against him and downgraded 2 others. McElroy waived his right to a preliminary hearing. His bond has been set at $1 million. Well, salt water that is flowing into a Caddo County creek killing cattle and wildlife is now officially considered an environmental emergency.
Governor Kevin Stitt made that declaration to the Oklahoma Corporation Commission as crews clean up the contaminated water. News 9's Deanne Stein explains what this declaration does and the response.
The Corporation Commission says the salt water is still flowing, but the governor's declaration will allow the agency to use emergency funds to bring in more help to stop it.
It's still coming out of the ground as we speak.
Mike Lola told us that last month when we visited the site of the saltwater purge near his farm. And today,
down below at the creek, there is still some of that. It's a very minor seep, but there were 4 or 5 places that is still seeping into that fresh water.
Into 5 Mile Creek, a watering hole for his cattle, until he said the contaminated water killed 26 of his cows and 3 calves.
You know, if I had to go buy these cows back, you're looking at least $100,000.
On Monday, the Oklahoma Corporation Commission reported the purge was discharging about 59 barrels per hour, down from last week's 63 barrels. The salt water is being diverted into trenches and a pit to prevent contamination of 5 Mile Creek, Cobb Creek, and Fort Cobb Lake. 2 tanker trucks are hauling the fluid to a disposal site. On September 24th, Governor Kevin Stitt responded to the OCC in this letter, declaring the purge an environmental emergency and authorizing immediate deployment of contractors to contain the threat. Last month, an incident report showed the purge is likely tied to a saltwater disposal well.
I think that everyone in the state needs to be fighting against these disposal wells that are putting this oil-filled waste into the ground.
Now, the OCC continues to monitor the situation daily and says cleanup will continue until the flow stops. In the newsroom, Deanne Stein, Oklahoma's Own, News 9.
So what about drinking water? That's a big question. The Corporation Commission says drinking water in Anadarko and Chickasha remains safe with no added risk to livestock or wildlife.
6:36 right now, another day, another scam. This one in Cleveland County. The sheriff's office warning of scammers calling residents pretending to be law enforcement. Deputies say those scammers will tell you that you have an active warrant or you missed jury duty. They're also going to ask for payment by gift cards or electronic payments. The sheriff's office says if you get a suspicious call, just hang up immediately and then contact the sheriff's office in order to report it.
All right, 6:36 on your Tuesday morning. Let's get over to Megan Gold, the birthday girl. Happy birthday, Megan.
Thank you. Hey, and a full super moon.
Okay.
So, you know, I wasn't sure what the traffic would look like this morning. When we've got a full moon, you never know. Things get a little crazy, right? And so far this morning, things look great. We are dry here in Oklahoma City. Of course, the big talk has been the cold front. So you might want the jacket as you hit the door here on your Tuesday. Kilpatrick Turnpike and Penn looking off to the west. There's the Broadway extension. It's getting busier here as we head towards the thick of rush hour, and then the Dallas Junction. I-35 coming in from the south side at I-40, a little slow going there. No wrecks or anything like that, but I think just typical morning kind of congestion. I-35 at North 27th Street. I'll show you the big map. The really only slow part that you're going to see right now is that slowdown there at North 27th Street. I'll let you know if we have any crashes or anything that happens that will impact the drive. Guys, back to you.
It is Red River Rivalry Week, and if you're heading down to Dallas for the game, it's always a booger to get there. ODOT says I-35 will be open to 2 lanes, but they are saying plan for some extra time. There are several construction projects happening along I-35. Those could slow you down with thousands of people all trying to get south. Tickets are available if you want to ride the train, the Heartland Flyer. It runs from OKC to Dallas. The game is this Saturday at 2:30. Your time now, 6:37, a big moment for a 3-year-old girl from Del City. Cambry Kinsey is warming hearts across the country. She was chosen to represent the National Down Syndrome Society. News 9's Kylie Dedman sat down with Cambry's family about this national honor and what it means to them. Kylie, good morning.
Lacey, good morning. Cambry is one of about 500 people across the world whose photo was featured on a giant billboard in the heart of Times Square, shining a spotlight on inclusion and the joy she brings her family and friends. Now, this was the 3rd year Cambry applied for this recognition, and like the saying goes, 3rd time's the charm. Cambry's mom, Brianna, says it was a lengthy application that included headshots, information on Cambry's diagnosis, as well as why the organization should pick her.
Endless possibilities. Like there's no limit for what she can do, and I know it may seem silly, it's just a photo, but it's so much more than that.
Now, each person gets about 4 seconds on the billboard. The Kinsey family found out in July that she would be featured on the billboard that you'll see right there. Along with all the other winners, the Kinsey family flew out last month where they got to see themselves getting to live their dreams in the City of Dreams. Now, Cambry's parents say they will give it a few years before entering her application to be seen again, wanting her to be just a little bit older to understand the significance of it. Reporting live in the newsroom, Kylie Dudman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
We are so happy for little Cambry. The National Down Syndrome Society's Times Square display is one of their most popular events, so it's truly an honor for that Oklahoma family.
Oh, she just looks so happy
I
in that
know.
picture. Larger
She just
than
wants to
life.
play and
Yeah.
have fun.
So exciting.
What a cool experience for them to go see it themselves in Times
Live
Square.
in person,
Yeah.
all those fans around celebrating with them. That is so cool. All right, we're celebrating that cold front. It has arrived right on time, Lacey.
It is here, guys. It's already moved through Oklahoma City. We're tracking it here in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Let me show you a shot outside. As you head out, we've got some pretty thick cloud cover, a gusty north wind. It's a little hazy as well. That's our Mathis home cam. Temps are in the 50s, the low 60s. Will only reach the lower and mid 70s today. Bye-bye to the 80s for now. It's a pretty dry setup. I'll have your next rain chance, and we're talking highs back well above average. Coming up.
The OSBI is now joining in the search for this missing 18-year-old Southwestern Oklahoma State University student out in Weatherford. After the break, what students are doing tonight trying to keep hope alive. The story ahead.
Welcome back. It is 6:45 your time right now, and as you're heading out the door this morning, boy, big treat in store.
Oh, you'll definitely feel it out there.
The cold front hit in the evening yesterday, so waking up this morning, our temps are still dropping maybe a couple more degrees over the next hour or so, but it already feels 5 to 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. I know. This afternoon is going to be amazing. So as that cold front came in, it kicked up dust. It had some debris with it, some leaves. It was a little dusty, still a little dusty this morning. And we got a time lapse here, show you as it moved through downtown. Skies were clear. This was about 8, 9 o'clock in the evening. And as the front started to approach, you'll notice the clouds start streaming in from the north. And there they are, moving on through. And eventually the wind started picking up the dust down along the horizon. You can see that. And then while you were sleeping, I hope you were sleeping, while this was occurring, the cloud deck started getting lower and lower and lower overnight. And you'll see it kind of start to look a little hazy here. And as that happened, just looking a little hazy all the way down to the surface, and still a little bit gritty, a little dirty, but temperatures are in the 50s and the 60s, and this afternoon only the low 70s. It's an exciting forecast. We got to show you some of this kind of historical data that was coming in yesterday. In case you missed it, EF5 tornadoes are very, very rare. They're only like 1% of the tornadoes that occur in the United States, and since 2013 we have been in an EF5 drought. However, the information released yesterday shows that after surveys have now been completely done on a tornado that touched down in North Dakota back on June 20th, the winds, due to the damage, you can estimate the winds over 210 miles per hour with that tornado. So Oklahoma held the record and was holding it strong for over 10 years for Moore and the El Reno tornadoes back in 2013. But that tornado did damage. It occurred late in the evening and into the night, flipped over this train. Now this picture comes from Aaron Rigsby, but the survey was done by Tim Marshall. He's the engineer for the Weather Service. He's excellent, and he goes out and carefully looks at the damage, figures out what the structure was, whether it was a home or in this case a train, and determines what force had to have tipped that over or through that train car. And there were multiple train cars, and he determined that winds had to be, if it was completely full, which he said some of those cars weren't, if it was full, 238 miles per hour, but at least 210, which does make that tornado an EF5. So that will now go down in the history books as the last EF5. Hopefully we go another 10 to 12 to 15 years before we see another one. Now, no severe weather. It's all about the cold front that's moving in today. So as you're getting ready for your Tuesday, it is here. We've had some rain overnight up to the north, up into Kansas, back into the west in our western counties. It's very light, though. Heavy downpours and quite a bit of lightning going on up into Kansas. Ponca City, back up to Blackwell. You can probably see some of those flashes of lightning to your north. Little light rain coming into our western counties, but it won't amount to hardly anything in the rain gauges. Bulk of the rain this morning will stay in the Panhandle, although we have the cloud cover overhead, and you can see that. 62 degrees is our current temp on our Lucky Star Sky Cam network. We're down to 56 now in Weatherford. Guthrie, you fall into 59 in Jones, 65 in Simmons. Seminole, 63 in Purcell. We've got mid-60s down to the southeast, and we've had 40s for a while out in our panhandle, but 40s are not widespread. Winds are 10 to 20. We've had some gusts to 25, and the north wind, you'll notice today, that ushers in that drier air, makes it feel amazing in the afternoon. We'll have quite a bit of cloud cover off and on into the afternoon, and that pumps the brakes on our warming trend. Highs will be in the lower mid-60s, the low 70s, south of I-40, mid to upper 70s, and may make the upper 80s for a while in the far southeast. Tonight, we'll still have a north breeze, a little gusty at times, so since the winds are up tonight, and we also have cloud cover, lows tonight will be in the mid-50s and low 60s. If we clear it out, we may drop a couple of more degrees. Highs for tomorrow, look at your Wednesday, mid-70s, low 80s, feeling so nice. High pressure, though, becomes the dominant feature in the plains over the next few days. Early next week, Pacific moisture rides in. We're still hot. We'll have a chance for rain Monday and Tuesday with that system. Then as we head into the middle to end of the week, still some slight rain chances. The next real pattern change for us will be towards the end of next week, maybe even by that weekend. So 17th, 18th, 19th of October, that's when we're watching for the next cold blast, or cooler blast, I should say, and possibly more widespread rain chances. That means the drought could start to settle on in. It's something we're watching for because rain is hard to come by, especially for central Oklahoma. Hot into the weekend, mid-upper 80s, a few 90s. We're seeing that weak cold front early next week. It'll cool us off some and up our rain opportunities. Back to you guys.
The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation is joining the growing search for a missing Oklahoma college student last seen in Weatherford. The OSBI says 18-year-old Logan Musil was reported missing from Southwestern Oklahoma State University on September 30th. Campus police say he was last seen back on September 12th wearing a camo shirt and a plaid jacket. That's the right side picture. Logan is known to carry a skateboard. His family desperate to find him. If you know where he is or if you've seen him, you're asked to call police. Meanwhile, a vigil of hope will be held tonight at the SWOSU campus clock tower. It starts at 7 p.m.
The family of Lick Vu, the man who ended up hospitalized after a traffic stop in Oklahoma City, says it is still moving forward with a lawsuit. Vu died last week of cancer, but his family is suing over this altercation with an Oklahoma City police officer. That officer, Joseph Gibson, has since resigned from the department. The Oklahoma County District Attorney initially filed charges against him, but the Oklahoma Attorney General has since dropped those charges. Earlier this year, Vu's family filed a federal lawsuit against Gibson, the city, and the Attorney General.
Well, and Del City leaders and the police department lowering the temperature a bit last night at the city council meeting following some big budget disputes. The two sides have been at odds over hundreds of thousands of dollars in budget cuts to the police department. In fact, the police chief, Lloyd Berger, still is on administrative leave this morning. He voiced concerns last week about the cuts. Last night, though, the city and police stated they're trying to communicate and are more understanding of each other.
Our intention is to do everything we can do to support the PD and anything that makes their job safer or more efficient. We're willing to go for it. The limitations on that are the dollars in the bank account.
I believe everybody involved is wanting to move down the road and get past this for the betterment of the city, the department.
Right now, we do know 4 positions have been cut from the police department, and the city then also cut $700,000 from the police budget. We'll be watching what happens. 6:50 on our Tuesday morning. Megan Gold watching the roads for us this morning as we near that heavy drive time hour. Megan, good morning.
Good morning. And we have seen some slow spots start to develop. We do have our crews out on the roadways. This is Joey Mitchell and Brianna Brown. They are at I-35 near Wilshire. Kind of slow going there. No reports of any crashes, but I think as the morning drive is picking up here, it's just getting a little more congested. Several other spots for you if you're headed into downtown from the North Metro Broadway extension down to 235. It looks good. I-44 gets very busy this time of morning looking off to the north there. It is slow going. Same deal at I-35. So let me show you those slowdowns on the map. Really overall, no significant problems, but there's your slowdown on I-35, also in the eastbound lanes of I-44. So just be careful as you hit the roads. We'll be right back right after this quick break.
Coming up on the Coca-Cola porch, it is time for basketball season. We have a preview of the OKC Thunder Fan Fest. It's ahead at 9 a.m.
All right, as we near 7 a.m., check it out. Happy birthday.
Oh
my gosh.
Look at that.
Megan,
happy birthday.
Thank you. That's my twin brother, Michael. We're the same age, so there we were. We shared the same little bassinet.
Oh.
Are you guys dressed the same today?
Absolutely not.
What are you doing for your birthday?
We're going to dinner tonight. We pretty much always do everything together on our birthdays. That's what you do as twins. So joint birthday parties growing up, you know, it's really special.
Your birthday's on a super moon?
Super moon, a cold front day.
I mean, you're living right.
It's the best day ever.
That's all you wanted,
And
right,
with
for your
you guys.
birthday?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, we love you being here with your happy birthday.
Boyfriend. Oh my gosh.
Okay, we got a little bit more time for that forecast. How are we doing, Lacey?
Yeah, looking good. Awesome, really. I mean, the weather's fantastic. So Megan's going to be celebrating all day long.
That is what I asked for.
Absolutely.
72.
Low 70. Is there anything better than 72?
No, it's perfect.
It's perfect. Tomorrow's a little bit warmer, and then we do climb back to the 80s and 90s.
It's finally here for a little bit, at least.
Hey, make it a great day. Thanks for sharing time with us here on News 9.